So now we know how it actually creates the drop-down list. We know what a drop-down list is in HTML. Now let's try and figure out what actually happens when I select something in the drop-down, like at work, and I actually write a name here like Olga. What actually happens when I press create here? That's kind of another exciting move inside this. Let me just clear the network here. Let me go in and put in a breakpoint inside our create inside the controller. Remember, it's not the get create, but it's the post request that's kind of exciting here. Now there's some binding in here with an ID, name, and person status ID. So I expect it to return a person status ID, right? If I go back to the HTML and look at the HTML, then it looks like it's going to send back a person status ID right here, right? But which one is it going to send? That's the next question. So let's try and do a create here with Olga. I hit the breakpoint on the server, and if I go in and just check if my person has been populated, that is the case with a person status ID of 2. So that looks like it's working as well. That's awesome. Let's try and go back to the view here. Let's see what the actually request sent looks like. So we are hitting /person/create, and we are hitting this as HTTP post request, which I cannot see right now. I don't know why. It's kind of strange. Oh, of course, it needs to get a reply before we can see that. But okay, it sends the name of Olga and then the person status ID of 2. That looks awesome. So let's have a look again, and now we just make another step here. I'll step over and step over again, and here the person is now being created in the database, and it still says person status ID 2 here. And now I just want to make sure that Olga is actually created here in my database. So I'll view the data. I'll see if Olga is here. She is, and she's actually pointing to person status ID 2. Happy days, it worked. It's that simple. So let's shut that down again. How did it actually do that? Well, it knows in person that the person status ID is a reference, a foreign key to another table, which is person status. So that's how it knows it. And if I go into my person here, you'll see that here's the foreign key pointing here to the table. So that's how it saves that inside the database. So it worked. Let's just do a continue again and get back to the actual view, just to see that she actually pops up right here, Olga. And if I go to the top now and press the create, now you can see it's actually a request of post. So that's all that happened there. It sent back a select statement, and the select statement is the name that you put in here inside the select. So let me just show the elements again. In the select, the name right here, that's what is actually going to post back, equals whatever you selected in the option. That's all it takes, and then the backend takes care of the rest. So that was all for this lesson, just to show you how the post actually worked. Next we're going to try and play around with the way that we make these data bindings and start using some Fluent API instead. See you next time.